Yo, what's good with it, y'all? It's your boy Lamborghini Preem back once again talking this boxing shit. And as always, make sure you hit up my official site, hustlegameboss.com, and check out my all new album, It's My Turn, The Throne Ascension LP. It's a motherfucking classic, and it's also available on iTunes, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. Big shout out to Tidal. Google Play, and basically anywhere music can be found, even YouTube. You know what I mean? If you want to check out some of my videos, or basically just look at my whole career from the beginning to now, you can check it out on my other channel. All you got to do is type in The Supreme General and I will appear, and that's on any outlet you so choose to enjoy. Just type in The Supreme General and you will find me. Now on to the video. This one is regarding the recent decline of HBO boxing. With the release of Showtime's stellar, and that's an understatement, stellar upcoming boxing schedule. They got all the good fights, basically. HBO has a paltry, just really paltry sum of good fights, man. The only ones I could think of that's maybe on the horizon is Danny Jacobs. Of course, you know, I gotta check out anything that has anything to do with the Miracle Man. Big shout out to Danny Jacobs. And also Triple G versus Canelo. That's gonna be one that you gotta check out. And then I forgot who else they signed, but they got really only one other big fighter. You know what I mean? And they had the potential to make some decent fights over there, but nothing that really can compete with Showtime's boxing schedule. And the bottom line, when it comes down to it, is simple. It is, they don't have enough money, man. You gotta loosen up. You gotta loosen up the purse strings, man. You gotta pour that bread on these boys. That's just the bottom line. I mean, even though Showtime is technically inferior as far as their presentation goes, like just the pomp and excess, HBO does that a lot better. But Showtime got better commentators. Showtime has better fights, better fighters, better relationships with those fighters, better relationships with their managers. They don't try to play matchmaker per se. You know, I'm sure they do behind the scenes. Maybe they try to push shit or guide shit to happen, but HBO was just blatant, especially back when Larry Merchant was there. I hated that motherfucker. Oh my God, I hated Larry Merchant. I just did. He was one of the most... Oh man, the only thing good about Larry Merchant was he appreciated body punches. That's it though. Once he got a favorite or got it in his head that he didn't like you, he was gonna just slander you all the time, and it was horrible to watch, man. Especially with Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, and Floyd Mayweather Jr., man. I mean, Larry gonna find something to hate on, and that was the shit I hated, man. It was things like that, little things like that. And now Jim Lampley's starting to do move very similar to that, and those type of things, man. It's just, that's the kind of shit that kills. Like, anytime fans would rather watch your presentation on mute because of the blatant and absurd favoritism that your announcers are showing these fighters, and then the way that you hold certain fighters' feet to the fire and not others, just shit like that. The politics game, plus the lack of funds, plus the lack of good fights, plus the lack of fights, period. That's a recipe for disaster. Now, HBO itself is still making a lot of money because, you know, they got their original programming is really almost second to none, man. It's really good. They got a lot of classic shit on there. So they main focus not even boxing right now. Back in the day, it was more on boxing. Now it's less on boxing, and I think that's a bit of a mistake, man, because boxing is a huge money maker. People like myself, really, like, I don't really watch TV so much, you know what I mean? I don't watch a lot of shows. I don't really have a lot of time for that shit. So I really only have Showtime for boxing, and that's a fact, you know. I got cable, but I only watch PBC on that shit, really. I don't really got time to watch nothing else. So that's really the only reason for me to have cable. And I'm second guessing that shit because it's so fucking ridiculously expensive. I feel like I'm getting robbed. You know what I mean? All this fucking money for this shit. But either way, I mean, you know, I believe the HBO is abandoning they diehard fans, and it's not a smart move. It's just really not a smart move. I believe that if they want to thrive into the future, or at least even survive, because the way Showtime got their foot on their neck, they trying not to even let them survive. This is not a game with them. They're not playing at all. So, especially with this schedule, man, I'm gonna watch just about every Showtime card I got time to check out. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to them too. Virtually every fight that's a main event, I'm looking forward to on Showtime. And I mean, it's sad that HBO going the way they going, but it's just too much too much political bullshit. And when I say political bullshit, I just means, the politics of boxing, not necessarily like real politics as far as like law making and governing. I'm talking more politics of, we don't like this fighter, so we're not going to showcase them, or we're going to shit on them the whole time that they're fucking fighting, as opposed to praising them, or not even praising them, but just calling shit as it is in the fight. You don't gotta kiss nobody ass. You don't gotta shit on nobody. We see what's going on. Just call it as it happens. That's the shit we like. That's why Malignaggi gets so much credit. He offers us insight that we never before would get, because you got too many motherfuckers riding dick. You know what I mean? For lack of a better way to put it. But yeah, man, I don't see HBO boxing surviving too much longer, man. I give them maybe 2 more years. If they don't get no funding or any real, tender love and care as far as they programming go, it's gonna be ugly, man. Ever since Floyd left that place, man, they been going downhill steadily, year after year after year. They ain't been shit since, And to me, it's karma. It's what they deserve, because of the way he was treated, the way that Roy Jones was treated, the way that Bernard Hopkins was treated, the way that just about everybody except Lennox Lewis was treated, Lennox Lewis was the only guy I can remember getting his just due from HBO that was, a certain kind of fighter. You know what I mean? But it's neither here nor there, man. If HBO was to put on some decent cards, man, I would love to watch them, but we just gotta do better, man. Y'all gotta rein in Jim Lampley's hate and, needless shitting on people, other fighters, you know what I mean? Particularly Mayweather, Rigondeaux, shit. Who is he shitting on now? Well, I can't even say that. We got to give Jim a pass lately. He ain't been on no bullshit, but that's because he hasn't been on TV. And to be honest, I've never watched the fight game, so I can't even say it. I'm just going off of the commentary I hear actually during fights. So, I mean, I think HBO knows what they have to do. Or maybe they don't know what they have to do, because Bob Arum is calling them out too, saying Espinoza is a real executive, a real CEO, or not CEO, but a real executive, and that HBO don't know what the fuck they doing. And I'm inclined to believe that, because HBO has just been taking L's out here. You know what I mean? Just so many L's, so many needless L's. You know what I mean? Just being bullish and stubborn, and not treating their fighters right. That kind of shit could hurt you. But yeah, man, I will hope HBO can get their act together, maybe get some new talent in there around my man Max Kellerman. And even he been on some fuck shit here and there, but they cash his check, so he got to say what the fuck they tell him to say, even though that may or may not be what he wants to actually say. And I feel for him, man. I feel for him over there with Lampley and them motherfuckers, man. Them fuck boys, man, that shit gotta be hard to deal with, man. If you really want to call shit a spade, and they telling you to call it as like it's a club, you can't do it. You know what I mean? It gets rough. It gets hard to swallow, but Max will be alright. They'll be alright. Max got a nice gig at ESPN, So, I mean, HBO boxing, even if it dies, it will be resurrected. I don't believe it will go nowhere, because the original programming they got is wonderful, but that shit goes up and down. It has phases. Some people are fair weather when it comes to that shit, and at the end of the day, boxing fans, we not. We gonna watch a fight no matter who fight. If you're really a boxing fan, you will watch a great fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all it's up to HBO to do, is to put on great fights, not shit on people that they don't need to shit on, and not to be, political douchebags, basically. You know what I mean? Less Larry Merchant, more Max Kellerman. You know what I mean? Excuse me, not even that. Less Larry Merchant, more Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I mean? So with that being said, that's the end of my thoughts on this shit right here. I'm on to the next one. Fuck with me. One.